Ladies and gentlemen, this is some very interesting news. Blake Masters endorsed by Donald Trump. So Trump has a 106 record among primary endorsements. That's including Herschel Walker and 99 other victories. So 106 record in endorsements. Now, Blake Masters could very well give the Republicans the Senate, but Republicans have a number of favorable contests, not just in the Senate, but obviously in the House. The House, there's no doubt, will go Republican. The Senate the odds are that the Senate goes Republican also. This will be a Trump-Republican sweep, almost certainly in the House and Senate, and it's not going to be the Paul Ryan, Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, Richard Burr, John McCain, Rumsfeld, Bush type of Republican Party anymore. They're not going to investigate an incoming Republican president because of a dossier purchased by Clinton or partisan government officials, highly partisan government officials like Strzok and Comey and Andrew McCabe and Clapper and Brennan. So you had Republicans in the Senate, like Richard Burr, for example, who had an insider trading. So he sold stocks right after a classified briefing that said that we were going to shut economic activity down. That's in addition to Dianne Feinstein and other people who were at that meeting. And of course, they're part of a system that's quite corrupt. So nobody was convicted or even really investigated. They were investigated, but you know how that goes. CNN, Trump endorses Blake Masters in Arizona GOP Senate primary. Fox News, Trump endorses Blake Masters in Arizona's crowded, divisive GOP. I think that he'll do very well, Blake Masters, primarily because Peter Thiel is backing him. Peter Thiel puts another $3.5 million behind Blake Masters in Arizona. Peter Thiel, the billionaire venture capitalist and tech entrepreneur, put another $3.5 million this month into a super PAC supporting Blake Masters in the highly competitive Republican primary for U.S. Senate in Arizona. The previously unreported donation is Thiel's first new investment in the super PAC. So he's going to have the money. He'll have the money. Thiel increased his outlays for Masters following the May 3rd primary victory in Ohio of J.D. Vance, another friend and former employee, reflecting Thiel's decision to go all in on the two populist firebrands and first-time candidates. So populism is going to win in 2022. That's, I think, the best thing that Trump brings. See, it's interesting because populism is very different, very, very different from the authoritarian type of politics. The true authoritarians, tyrants, people who want to suppress dialogue, discourse, debate, discussion, people who want to send Americans off to military interventions. Those are the authoritarians, okay? People who benefit from controlling the media narrative. Those are the authoritarians. That's not really the populists that we're seeing with Trump. Trump doesn't care what you say. He doesn't really care what you think. It's Democrats who need you to fall in line at all times. If you don't agree with even the most benign viewpoints or beliefs that were, pretty mainstream even 3-4 years ago, suddenly you're the most horrible human being on the planet. And so there's more of a libertarian element to the populism we see with Trump and with his candidates. They want to ensure that economic growth is the most important consideration, okay? Economic growth, foreign policy that doesn't lead to military interventions, okay? That's a good thing. I'll vote for any candidate that opposes the Lincoln Project. I'll vote for any candidate the Lincoln Project opposes. I do not want I do not want anyone. I don't want anyone who's going to side with the typical interventionist, militant foreign policy of both the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. You can put traditional Democrats and Republicans, they're two sides of the same coin. That's why when people don't understand why you'd vote for a populist candidate. So when I was on the left, by the way, hit subscribe to this channel right now, ladies and gentlemen. I have a very important segment on the stock market crash channel below. Definitely go to the stock market crash channel below in the pinned comment. Go to the Bitcoin crash to 10,000 or lower channel. I have extremely important segments there. Go to the description. I have accurately predicted exactly what's taking place in the market. In September of 2021, watch the playlist. Watch my segments on this channel, on the playlist, telling you that the market was going to tank, the economy was going to suffer. Unfortunately, I said Bitcoin was going to crash. In September of 2021, I said the market was going to tank and the economy was going to descend into what we're seeing now in September of 2021. Those segments are in the description section. If you want to support my work, my Patreon is below in the pinned comment. Subscribe to those channels. If you want to support my work, my Patreon is below in the pinned comment, and become a member of this channel, ladies and gentlemen. When we do have live streams, the membership is important, awesome, and also in the comments section. If you want to become a member, that'd be fantastic. But here, let's just read this really quickly. Trump endorses Blake Masters in Arizona's crowded, divisive GOP Senate primary. So the GOP primary winner will take on Democratic first-term Senator Mark Kelly in battleground Arizona. If you have a person with enough money, and I think that's the main thing, a person with enough money who's backed by two billionaires. Now, Trump is also increasingly in line with Thiel. Peter Thiel is awesome. He's awesome. The PayPal co-founder and tech billionaire who infused more than $13 million into his own money into a pro-Masters super PAC. Okay, if you have enough money, you can defeat the current senator in Arizona. I think it comes down to money. I think that's the main thing. It comes down to money. And so Democrats are very, very good at funding. They just asked Bernie Sanders $200 million in 2016, and Clinton and the DNC had to pay an FEC fine for the Steele dossier. So their funding goes into political operations. If you fund Bernie Sanders, you're going to actually be funding a dossier that is completely bogus, that is used to initiate government investigations of Madam Secretary's direct political rivals. But Trump is 106. He's 106 in primary endorsements. The populist Republican message is a lot better than what Democrats have to offer. And this point in time, a lot better. You look at the Democratic Party, they're completely oblivious to the 8 to 9% inflation. They're completely oblivious to people going to the gas tank and spending sometimes $7 a gallon. I mean, how much are you spending at the pump right now? So you have inflation, negative GDP. We're going into a recession. Biden came into the Oval Office saying, oh, well, we're going to go ahead and save the planet. Well, you can't do that right after you've pushed to end economic activity. So that's another thing. You're going to have Trump Republicans who will push back against the hysteria and paranoia and an apoplectic reaction, hysterical reaction to any crisis. So there's a serious issue 2 years ago, very serious. Democrats tank the entire U.S. economy. Okay, obviously to kick Trump out of office. But then you obliterate supply and demand projections. You cause the inflation that we see now because demand plummets for everything. Then you pump $10 trillion in fiscal and monetary stimulus from the Fed and Congress. And then you open back the economy and suddenly demand skyrockets. And then mashed potato brains, our president, is sued by 14 states and oil and gas associations, literally stating within the lawsuit his policies in Build Back Better and other policies are going to harm economic activity, harm the economy, and within those lawsuits, they literally state mashed potato brains policies are going to make gas far more expensive. Anyway, you want a candidate like Blake Masters or the 100 that have won with Trump to push back against the hysteria. Always hysteria. It's just unbelievable. Anyway, hit subscribe to this channel right now. New development. Be here on this channel tomorrow at 9 a.m., people. I'll have a very, very important segment at 9 a.m. on this channel on H.A. Goodman, and subscribe to the Stock Market Crash and the Bitcoin Crash channels. Thank you.